Okay, so last time we checked in here, we're talking about, I think it was right around here, um, at close yesterday, right before this candle happened. We had seen these and we're starting to think about some sort of possible rollover here. At this time, it was still potentially theoretically possible that we could have a little bit of a pump to the upside. Um, but I think like what we had said yesterday was very tight trading range. Any sort of breach of the range is expected to come back into the range. So either direction, I was kind of expecting we're either going to get a touch of the low and then a reaction and bounce back in, or if we go upward, we'd have a little bit of a pump and then dip it back down, at least back into the range, if not clear out of the range. So in this scenario, we we dip down, but kind of the way that I was looking at it is, let me clear this. We had such a strong move down from here, right? When you have such a strong dump, very likely that we're going to get a second leg down. So if we pumped out of this range, I would not expect it to have been a big pump all the way to here and then get the second down, just based on how strong this was. I was more so expecting we have kind of like a flag, maybe like a bear flag, and we just poke out and then dump through the bottom. But a breach of the high of this range was not out of the question. What we ended up having is this bar ends up being a big outside bar. It looks outside up. I mean, it's green, so it's technically outside up, but it looks more outside down. Followed by this inside bar, good signal, bear signal, and the short from here to give you a couple percent. And now we're getting what looks like a buyback here. This looks like a pretty strong reversal candle, and I think bulls will be hoping to kind of do something like this. Because again, the longer we go sideways, the better it is for the bullish scenario, in my opinion. I think that the longer we go sideways, like if we do like this, and now we just start going sideways in a trading range, that would very much make it seem like this has resolved entirely, with the two-legged move down. And we would probably be then looking at, oh, this is this is still active. This is still not being disrespected. And now we're going sideways. So at the very least, we'll get a test of the high. If not a complete break through the top, but at the very least, we should be getting some sort of test of this high if we're able to continue going sideways. Otherwise, if this bullish reversal is not able to hold, and like let's say the next, like it closes like this and the next bars just continue down, 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 I think, yeah, we're looking to revisit this low and to see if we're going to make this a horizontal range. And if not, we're probably going to test these lows. Yeah, so probably enter this mid 50s kind of region. So that's kind of what we're looking at on high time frame. On low time frame, I think our best bet is to kind of ascertain what's going on here. Is this really going to be a reversal? We have nice volume building on this reversal bar. It's not like a capitulation climactic volume like this candle was, right? This huge candle, very climactic, a lot of capitulation, a lot of liquidations. This doesn't seem to have as many, but certainly we can tell and we know for a fact, right, based on this low being violated, that, excuse me, stops have definitely been liquidated. Stops have definitely been taken. Um, and on the 1 hour, I mean, this is looking like a really clean bounce candle here. Puts in a high. Let me see, is this a high one? I mean, I guess technically from here, your high one is here. So puts in your high two. Um, these two together, I guess, like this is technically your high two signal and then your entry bar. So let me draw this, actually, matter of fact. Well, we're just going to put, like, technically this is your high 1, I guess, and then this is going to be your high 2. So basically, bulls should expect, I mean, and this current bar looks like, possibly a small inside bar. So maybe it will set up either a sideways range here that kind of probably will hopefully continue upward, or maybe we have a little test back maybe of this area or something like that, put in a higher low, and then take a shot back towards this middle of the range. And of course, possibly we can just go right back into it. So these are the kinds of things that we're probably watching for on the 1 hour chart. Certainly this looks like a strong reversal pattern, right? And we most recently put in this really interesting, actually, expanding triangle was our last zone of consolidation. And we had this expanding triangle breakout here. This was a really tight range, basically barbed wire, expanding triangle. Any sort of triangle is usually a final flag. We don't typically see expanding triangles as a final flag. So maybe that's something that we should make sure that we pay attention to here if this does in fact indeed become a final flag. But yeah, theoretically, triangle, consolidation, going to be a final flag. This is our last dump out to the bottom of the range. Take the lows, liquidate. Buyers step in here, obviously, because we had this sideways consolidation. We took a low. Buyers definitely going to try and take a shot, step in here, and we've run it up decently already. Putting in a spike here, spike phase, possibly on a lower time frame. We might see something like a channel develop here following the spike. Maybe we say the spike is completed, and wherever this ends, we start a channel from there. And maybe depending on how far we get, maybe that gets like this level. We dip back down, retest the low of the channel, double bottom bear flag, and then we're able to push upward. How likely? Not sure. Really not sure. We basically just have to see how does this spike react to. We're already at a bit of a resistance, so we want to see if we can start channeling and breaking through that resistance. We want to see if we can put in a higher low and try and break through that resistance. And of course, bears are always eagerly waiting. Excuse me, and anticipating something like we have one leg up, 2 legs up, they get a better entry for the short, still can't break through the top of this, and then we dump even further. So these are the things we're going to be looking at today. Currently, we're going to look for some sort of resolution of this dump cycle and see how market reacts to putting in such a strong spike. For how many hours is this? Like 2-3 hours, maybe? An hour and a half? A couple hours? It looks like a lot more candles than just 5 or 6, but these are strong candles, so maybe I'm optical illusion. But yeah, this is what we're looking at, what we're thinking today. I'm thinking probably going to be a bearish day, but I think from here on till the end of the day's close in 4.5 hours, I definitely think it could get a little bit bullish / sideways consolidation-y. But yeah, just looking at this candle, this is almost exactly like what we were talking about yesterday, that the candle following this is just going to dump through this low and possibly look like this. I kind of thought that, yeah, I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if we had an outside, if we breached up to the outside first and then dumped down, but we didn't. We just took a test of the high and then dumped straight through. So this is exactly what we were expecting at our 4 o'clock close yesterday. And yeah, we'll have to see how market continues. Obviously, obviously bulls would like to round this bottom and bring it back up. But certainly these 4 candles, and mainly these 2 candles, are so strong that they could just take us down lower. And this is not like we can hit this level and still be bullish for sure. You know, um, obviously bulls would like to hold this trend line if possible, especially now that we're getting there. So we'd like to see a bounce from this level. But with the strength and momentum from this, I think it's very possible that we just break through and start testing these high 50s levels. So yeah, that's all we got for now. I will be back at in 30 minutes for the 4-hour close.